Good morning and welcome to The Edge for Thursday, July 25th, 2024. I'm Devonne Cornelius and thank you so much for joining me in the program for today. Let me apologize for the late start. I was attending the ceremony for the government auxiliary employees pension distribution, or the distribution of their payments. The ceremony was held this morning on Church Street, just outside government headquarters, where government auxiliary employees, formerly non-established workers, received their pensions, or the first payment for them. So payment commences today, and according to the officials who spoke at the event, including the head of the civil service, Thelma Richards, they will receive their pension as normal every month for the rest of their lives. A number of people were there to collect their pension, and we, ZIZ, also had the opportunity to speak with some of the recipients about how they feel to have collected their pension today after working so many years in the service. I spoke to one person who gave about 28 years, I think it was at the Water Services Department. You had another person who gave about 26 years. Most of them who we spoke with contributed more than 25 years to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and to their country. And so it is a good thing to see that they are able to collect their pension today. You know, government auxiliary employees, formerly non-established workers, they did not fall under the category or fall within that scheme to receive a pension. And so they would work and toil all of these years, and then they would just go on to receive their social security pension, which is separate and apart from the government pension. And so you have a case where some might come out of the service at the age of 55 or just before they're 60, and they would have to wait a few years until they receive their social security pension. Today, they are now receiving their social security pension, as I mentioned, which is separate and apart, and they're now receiving their government pension, and they will receive this pension for the rest of their lives. Also forming part of the announcement for their pension, the Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Chu, stated that, or announced that, the pensioners, in the event that they die before they reach the age to collect their pension, their survivor or survivors, whatever the case may be, will receive a pension from the government for 1 year. So 1 full year of pension. So if you're if you're about to collect your pension and you pass before you are able to collect that pension, the government is saying that your survivor or survivors are going to receive those payments for 1 full year. It is 12 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour, and you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. We'll open the phone lines in a bit, and so when we do so, you can call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. And I'll give you, the listeners, the opportunity to call in and lend your voice to the conversation at hand in terms of the government auxiliary employees receiving their pension today. You know, government auxiliary employees, or GAEs, formerly non-established workers, over the years have spoken, have told of their experience as a non-established worker, in the sense that they basically don't get much benefits, and if they do, it's a little. So they don't get any benefits whatsoever. They just work, they get their money at the end of the week or at the end of the month, or however the pay system was for them, and that was it. And so when they retire from the civil service, or I can't even say civil service because they were not civil servants, when they retire from the public service or from wherever they were working within the government, they would not have been receiving anything and it would just be their social security pension where they would have been making their contributions. That is different now, so effective July 25th, 2024, the government auxiliary employees will be receiving their pension. Now, you may have some people out there who are not yet receiving their pension. I encourage you to contact the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance, I think in particular the Accountant General Department or the Accountant Department, and have a conversation with them. Or if you can, or if a family member or a loved one or whoever can do that for you, you can have them visit the government headquarters or the Accountant General to get information on the status of your pension. That's the best advice I can give to you. So if you're not yet receiving your pension and you qualify, or if you have not yet received a letter or received a call, I encourage you to do some inquiry. Go and call, ask a question, try to find out what the status of that is, and I'm pretty certain that somebody will be there to assist you. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation here on The Edge. Stay tuned.
The Caribbean, we boast a diverse abundance of flora and fauna that adorn our countries. This diversity follows through to our people, communities, and families.
As a doctor, I treat my patients with respect and understanding, without stigma or discrimination, no matter their sexual orientation, practice, or belief. Remember, everybody deserves a fair treatment.
As a mother and healthcare professional, I believe all Caribbean children should be safe, happy, and healthy. Let us create a safe, supportive environment for all Caribbean children to thrive.
Let us treat our LGBTQ+ family members with love and respect. Strong families create a stronger Caribbean. This message is brought to you by the Eastern Caribbean Alliance for Diversity and Equality, ECADE.
The future is unknown. Protect your life, your family, and your valuables from unforeseen circumstances. Let National Caribbean Insurance give you the peace of mind that you so deserve. At NCI, we offer a suite of affordable insurance plans that can be tailored to ease your financial burden. We aim to deliver exceptional products to satisfy all your insurance needs. Whether life, health, motor, or property insurance, NCI has the right solution for you. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales professionals are ready and able to assist you. Let National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited help you to prepare for the unexpected. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Hello and welcome back to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host Devonne Cornelius, and thank you so much for joining me in the program for today. It is 18 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour. If you're just tuning in, I raised the topic of the government auxiliary employees receiving their pensions today. And so payments commenced today, July 25th, and a ceremony was held just outside government headquarters on Church Street, where a number of eligible pensioners were able to receive their checks. The Prime Minister said that the checks, they will receive a back pay. And so even though payments commenced today, 25th of July, they will receive a back pay up until January 2024. Yes, up until January 2024. And again, this is separate and apart from the pension that they are receiving from Social Security. Now, I know there are many people in St. Kitts and Nevis who are currently government auxiliary employees, or you may know someone or may have known someone who worked as a non-established worker, now government auxiliary employees, and they would oftentimes share their experience working, not knowing if they're going to receive a pension at the end of their service. And so you've contributed a number of years and you're not certain if you're going to receive a pension. And in the remarks that were delivered by the Accountant General, Mr. Levi Bradshaw, he made mention of the work that the committee was able to do, and that they were able to meet with the cabinet, made their recommendations and suggestions. The cabinet was able to look at those recommendations and suggestions and say, hey, let us go back to the drawing board and see how we can refine this, how we can tune it some more, how we can make it better to ensure that the government auxiliary employees receive their pension and receive what they have worked so hard for over the years. And so that was really heartwarming. But as I said earlier, there are people who you know who've worked in as a government auxiliary employee, or at that time non-established worker, and was not certain. They were not certain if they were going to receive a pension, and to see that they were able to collect their pension today is really good. As I said, as ZIZ, we had a conversation with some of the recipients, and they were elated. They were happy, because these people were basically uncertain. Some of them made mention of the fact that they were getting their Social Security payments, which they are grateful for, but those payments were not able to cover most of the expenses that they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And so now that they are receiving this pension, of course, that would help them to have a better quality of life, and that is good. The Accountant General also said that work began as far back as 2007. 2007, when the committee was established and they began looking at it, and then there was some work done, I believe, in 2012. I'm going to have to go back to check to see exactly what was said, but I was there, and so I was able to recall some of the remarks that were made. But work began in 2007. One of the recipients who we spoke to also mentioned that she said she was one of the persons who championed or helped to push for government auxiliary employees to receive their pension, as she remembers as far back as 2007, when they first made mention of this pension that non-established workers would be receiving. And she says that she is happy to be alive today to see that she is now receiving her pension more than 10 years later. And she's alive today to receive her pension after contributing so many years. I think that lady in particular contributed about 28 years in the service, and she's now receiving her pension. We'll open the phone lines now and begin taking your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. You can call and lend your voice to the conversation at hand. Again, the numbers are 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. You are listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. Let me also mention, I did that yesterday, but I want to mention again that Culturama officially kicks off today. Today, Thursday, July 25th, Culturama, the 50th anniversary of the greatest Caribbean Summertime, kicks off today. And there will be an official opening ceremony later this evening, where basically, according to the executive director for Culturama, Abernathy Liebert, it's going to be like a production. And so you are encouraged to be there to witness what promises to be a production style in opening, and there will be a number of performances, folklore performances, performances by different artists and bands and local groups and organizations. And so it promises to be a spectacular show. And so I am using this platform to encourage you to go on out to the official opening of Culturama. I am encouraging you, the listeners here on St. Kitts Conditions and St. Kitts, to come on over, head on over, because I'm here, head on over to Nevis for the opening of Culturama and support the different shows, the Calypso show, the Talented Teen, the Miss Culture Queen, the pageant, and the different activities that will form part of making the Culturama experience a great one. The phone lines are open. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts and views, opinions on the government auxiliary employees receiving their pension, and how it has, I would say, significantly contributed to their improving the quality of their life, knowing that you worked so many years and at the end of your service you're not receiving anything, or getting a small lump sum of money, a small money payment rather, is disheartening. And so you could see on their faces that they were really happy, really elated that after contributing so many years that they are able to walk away with something that they can use for the upkeep of their lives. Some, I don't know, maybe want to look after their other family members, their grandchildren, you name it. So it was, I would say, a sight to behold to see that people were so elated to receive their pension. And as I made mention of, it's for the rest of their lives. And so it is going to be treated as a regular, just how a civil servant would receive their pension. It is going to be treated like that. The Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis and Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, addressed the nation on Wednesday on the topic of crime and violence and national security. He addressed the nation on Wednesday evening at 8, and the address focused on rolling out strategies to prevent or to curb crime and violence within our communities. And it was also mentioned that there would be a national consultation on crime and violence in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so the government and police are saying that they would want to, as they have done in the past, but on a larger scale, engage with you, the public, and civil society, to hear what your thoughts, what are your suggestions, your recommendations, your ideas as to how we address the issue of crime and violence. And so through the Ministry of National Security, plans are being put in place for the staging of a national consultation on the issue of crime and violence, and it is expected to bring together senior government officials, law enforcement personnel, civil society, non-governmental organizations, the youth, and more for wide-ranging discussions on this important issue. Dr. Drew recently he made the announcement, and the consultation will form part of the government's comprehensive all-of-society approach to addressing the scourge of crime in the Federation. He indicated that the government intends to use the platform of the planned national consultation to share the findings of a scientific study carried out by a task force led by psychiatrist Dr. Isabel Williams that looked at crime and violence from a public health perspective, addressing the root causes of the problem. It's 11:29. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation here on The Edge. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Attention St. Kitts and Nevis. This July we celebrate 50 years of cooperation, integration and development within our vibrant Caribbean community. CARICOM Thanksgiving service on Thursday, July 25th. Gather with us at the Sir Cecil Jacobs Auditorium, 6 p.m. as we give thanks and celebrate our vibrant Caribbean community through worship. CARICOM Colors Day on July 26. Let's unite and wear the vibrant colors of the Caribbean and our beloved island. The CARICOM Experience on Saturday, July 27th. Join us at the Independence Square at noon for an afternoon filled with art, culture, and the true essence of being CARICOM. CARICOM symbolizes our strength, shared heritage, and unwavering commitment to progress. Join us as St. Kitts and Nevis celebrates 50 incredible years of cooperation, integration, and development in a vibrant Caribbean community. CARICOM.
Wisdom, show me the right. Guide me safely through the night.
Health-wise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Malik Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Patrice Lawrence.
Going to Nevis for Culturama? Sail from 26 July to 11 August with MVI Connect's Culturama 50 special fares of $200 EC round trip for regular sedans and regular SUVs, and $250 EC round trip for large sedans and large SUVs. Don't be the one left behind on the peninsula. Go online to iConnectSKN.com. Book a departure and return time that's convenient for you. Arrive at least 15 minutes before departure. Show your QR code, drive on, turn, and park, then drive off. Fares valid for crossing between 26 July and 11 August. All trips during this period will operate between Majors Bay and the Charlestown Pier. MVI Connect. On time, every time. MVI Connect. Bridging the crossing. Online ticket purchase encouraged to guarantee your trip. Ticket may be purchased at the dock using cash or card if space is available.
And welcome back to The Edge in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today, Thursday, July 25th, 2024. If you're just tuning in, I shared some information on a ceremony held this morning on Church Street, just outside government headquarters, where checks were presented to pensioners, government auxiliary workers who are now receiving their pension. They received their first payment today and will be receiving a payment every month for the rest of their lives. And in the event that you pass before you are able to collect your pension, your survivor or survivors will collect that pension for 1 year. The phone lines are open and we welcome your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. I see we have some callers coming in, so we'll take our first call for the morning. Hello, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Devon.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Well, I hope I didn't get caught because I'm right on the edge. But anyway, when you going to sing your own calypso?
When am I going to sing my own calypso?
You like to back up now?
Well, I'll encourage you to keep following me. You never know.
Okay.
You never know. I might just surprise the public.
All right, well, something surprising is good. Yeah, I have a little question.
Yeah, sure.
Now, suppose, let's say 10 employees from ZIZ, 10 from police, 10 nurses, 10 water department, 10 skeleton, and 10 from other departments of the government. And they all reach the age of retirement at the same time. And all of them have to go on retirement. And they're going to get their pension. Where should the letter go to to reach the retirees? In the mail, or they're supposed to go to government headquarters and have a function like what they had this morning to get the pension?
Okay, I'm trying to understand what you mean. You mean in terms of the notice being given to them that they're going to get the pension?
Right.
Well, in a case like that, there are different channels that they would use. So they would call you to say, good morning, John Doe, you're receiving your pension. Could you please come to X, Y, and Z to collect? Or they could send it in the mail, or they could do a direct deposit. But I think for a case like this, because of the significance of it, where for the first time, non-established workers are receiving a pension just like civil servants or any other worker in a private organization. That is the reason why they decided to put on a ceremony. Now, also happening at the ceremony this morning, as soon as they received their checks, the pensioners went into a private section, went into a section there with the human resource professionals, and they were able to sign for the checks, and some of them were able to get their money, well, the actual check, not cash, right there and then.
Well, people were getting Social Security. They didn't have to go through that with no politician giving them no check, and they have to go and sign it. They sign what they're supposed to sign, and they send the check to you in the mail. And when you get the check, when you get the mail will tell you where to go and collect the check. No politician has no right to be giving out no check to no workers. I don't care who they be. Let them keep politics out of certain things. Because the pension belongs to the people who have worked, and so therefore they're supposed to go to the right place. That is the reason why the post office is there, to collect mails to send to the people. Anyway, thank you, Devon.
All right, Colin. Thank you so much for it.
I'm practicing a calypso to come with you, Okay.
All right. Thank you for your contribution to the program. We have more callers on the line. Let's take this one. Hello, good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you?
I am doing well. And you?
I'm okay. Concerning the checks for the pensioners, there's no comment to make. They deserve it. You know how long they've been waiting for that check? But it's just that they put was slow. The steps was too slow. Well, finally it come to an end. So I don't see no comment at all to make about it. Culture said something just a while ago, and I'm kind of agree with him. The checks, you have a Social Security, your checks, you know, as you say, you get a letter in the mail, your check is in your bank account. Because most likely, when government send out checks and things, you don't really get them. So that's why they just said, have account, direct deposit. Because in New York City, I don't get no check in the mail, you know. Everything is direct deposit. And it's good because sometimes whenever you travel, you just go and you get you know, you don't have to wonder if somebody pick up your check. It's there already in the bank, you know. So I'm agree that let it have direct deposit, because sometimes when you mail it, oh, I didn't get my mail, you understand?
Right.
So if they don't have account, let them go open account, especially for their pension. I think that should be it. So they know every month is 16, the 10th or whatever, they go to the bank and they know the money is there. Second thing I have to talk about, the crime. The crime, I didn't hear the Prime Minister's speech, but what happened what I'm against, the crime, they had the cap on the crime, the former government had a cap on the crime. You don't like what's going on. So you come in with a plan and say, well, don't wait until open the gate for them to flood out. Money can't buy life. Money cannot buy life, but if you could save life, at least, you know, because the thing is that when I heard other people saying that when the former government was in, as a claim that they was paying for crime, they could have sleep with the door open, they had a peace of mind. No, it's so scary. The other day, a lady, you could have said, well, they're killing the young men, no, a lady. It's scary. It's scary. So it's, I don't know. Because I think they should, when they're campaigning, the politician in campaigning about something another a politician doing, when you all get to our group, so when we're going to do this. Not he do campaign and talk about the pay for peace and then I pay social security and whatever. And now look what happened. 20, including a lady. I'm a lady talking and I don't even know the lady, but I felt it. It's scary. You don't even want to come to St. Kitts. Because you ain't do nothing, but guess what? I'm a lady, so I'm going to walk and they ain't going to do me nothing. Hey. When I go from one village to the other village or whatever, bam, and I ain't do nothing. So, I mean, you can't wait until the gate open and start, and when the animals then come out, you start to close it. Have something in mind. If the farmer one have something and you don't like it, because you try to see what you can do. Look how many lives gone. Come on. That's my piece for today. It's hard, especially with a lady. Huh? I don't know what's going on, but the fact remains you don't take life because you don't give life. That is it. And what happened, what I don't understand, that when they do that, they give up their freedom.
All right.
They so coward, they're gone. They give up their freedom. Anyway, you have a nice day.
You too, Colin. Thank you so much for your contribution to the program. We are still taking your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. The phone lines are open. Call us.
Good morning.
Let's take this call.
In the farm.
Good morning. You have, please wait. Caller.
I lose 5 families.
Caller, turn off the radio. Too much feedback.
And the most we had in a week, we had 6 under the farmer government in 1 week.
Oh boy, this, I don't know, I'm trying to tell the caller turn off your radio, and you have to turn off the radio, caller. I could barely hear you. That's all I'm trying to say. Turn off your radio. When you guys call, please turn off the radio, because there's a lot of feedback and echoing on my end, and I can't hear you. And if I can't hear you, the people who are listening to the program can't hear you. Let's take this call. Okay, I think we lost that one. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, what I was saying, I don't understand what the lady talking about. Because in the farmer government, I lost 5 of my good family in gun violence. 5. And we had 6 murders in 1 week under unity. I don't know what she's talking about. It wasn't under control. It wasn't. So she need to get she act together. Have a good day.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to the program. The phone lines are open. We'll take your calls. You have a caller? Hello, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, a pleasant good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. I would like to know, why are the auxiliary workers then getting paid from 2012? So what happened to those people who put in the work before, have done all the hard work, and now end up ain't getting nothing? Why from 2012?
I'm not quite sure if I understand what you mean. Could you repeat the question?
I said the auxiliary workers, then they said they started from 2012. He's going to get paid from 2012. What happened to those that worked long before 2012? What happened to them? There was auxiliary workers and don't put in so many hard work. That's what I asking.
Okay, thank you for your question. I don't really understand the question, to be honest with you. You have another caller? Jesse, can you help me out? I don't. Okay, I'm being honest. I don't really understand the question. Are you asking about people who started working in 2012? Because you had people who worked 25 years and they were able to get. We have a caller? Okay, let's hit this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Devonne.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Devonne. You hear me clear?
Yes, good morning. I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Devonne, yes. Talking about crime and these young men who going around doing these brutal acts. When these young men, I hear people say the criminals done with the criminal law and all these things. What they call it again, Lord?
I don't know what you mean.
not done with the criminal law, the law to hang people and all these things, right? No.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The same was done with that, right? If they catch about 5 young men to murder somebody, brutally murder somebody, and they got the 5 of them in prison to put on the galleys, or to do what they're going to do with them, to end their life. Put them on social media, put them on Facebook, put them out on the media. Do you believe that when these other young men out here see these young men life going because of what they do you think that they will want to hold a gun in the hand? They will see a gun and run from a gun. And I believe something need to step up. Something need to happen because these men just taking people lives are brutal. Taking man life, taking woman life, taking, you look like anybody life they will take out. And if you bust them too hard, you play them take you out and all. You can't say nothing. You can't do nothing. And I believe that the people them who, especially somebody who got gunshot, they should cooperate with the police and tell the police who the person be, who the perpetrator be, who shoot them. But they say nothing. So if the police them ain't get no information and evidence, they can't do nothing much neither. They got to work with the police them. When this heinous brutal act got to stop, man. You have to say people going home where they live, going home where you live, walking going home, and someone will come with a gun and just put it to your head and shoot to kill you. And then when you look at you got in jail to eat government food for non-taxpayers food, taxpayers money. Never something need to be done. All right then.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution to the program. We have another call on the line. Let's hit this call. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, blessed day to you and the people listening. Concerning what was said a while ago by Mr. Politics, I said to prevent the young men them being locked up, to prevent the young men them from being hung for committing crimes which they should get punished for, prevent them from being punished by teaching them to keep the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of the Creator. Yes, because really and truly the question is asked, how can a young man change his ways? And he ain't just referencing young people neither. This overkilling of young people being criminals is ridiculous. Because they learn it from the adults, they just get better at being, as scriptures say, covetous. It's really covetousness, which we would call modern day jealousy, grudges. These are commandments. If you teach the youth them to keep, they won't have to get arrested for murdering, for stealing, for lying, for spreading false witness and so discord among brethren. These are the kind of evils and